In this video, we will show you the paint technique. For the purposes of this demonstration, I will leave only the paint technique enabled. And from the machine hoop selection, I will select a cutter and a cutting mat. Now that the only technique enabled is paint, anything that we create will automatically be assigned to the paint technique. For example, left-click and drag to create a polygon. Let's take a closer look. As you can see, it has a white fill and a black outline, and both fill and outline are set as paint elements. This is because when we created the shape, the software already knew that the shape would be a paint element. Let's select a red fill color so that it's easier to see in contrast with the white. And let's customize it. From the Object Properties Fill tab, you can see that this shape has a paint step fill. The other options would be paint zigzag, paint piping, and paint net fill. Now notice that on the View menu, there is a special realistic paint view, which we can turn on and off. Without the realistic paint, the object looks like a solid color, whereas when the realistic view is on, it looks more like the actual paint. Let's try the different fill types. In Default Fill type, the object is filled with paint lines that go from one side to the other, and you can see a little overlapping in the rows. To help us better spot the difference, let's enable the Density option. Using this option, you can adjust the spacing of the paint lines. In Zigzag Fill, it looks more like a zigzag fill. In Paint Piping Fill, you get this random fill effect. If you increase the density, not all the material is covered, and you can better see what the row fill does. Paint Net Fill creates a net of paint lines. You can easily adjust the distance between the lines, the offset, and the angle. Let's switch to the Outline tab to see the available types. Apart from the straight line, there is also the zigzag line. At this point, it's useful to have a look at the usability of the outline width. You can set any width that you like. In this case, you don't see much difference, the outline just looks thicker than the actual paint line. When zigzag outline is applied, then the zigzag widens according to the outline width. You can also adjust the density. Creating and editing a painting design is similar to creating embroidery, but now with a paint object, you can select the file Export option and send it to your cutting machine. Select the cutter and connect. Now you can see the paint parts. You can select all or individual parts and send them to the cutter. In the same way, you can create lettering paint. Use any font or any size you like. There are a lot more you can do with paint. For example, you can import a vector design and automatically convert it into a paint design. All of the colors that would normally be used for embroidery will in this case be paint. You can customize any of the parts.